Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Day one. This is the second part of the outfits or cultural outfits of Igbo people. Now, in the first video, I will put it up there. I showed you, or is it up there? Up there, somewhere. I told you guys about I showed you the cultural attires of the elder men and the unwed women. Today, I'm going to tell you about the unwed men and the older women. Starting from the head, the elder women wear Ichafu, which that's what we call it, Ichafu. You might know this as Gele. Gele is Yoruba, but it's popular, so that's what most people know this as. So this is head tie, Ichafu. We have a certain way of tying it, but these days people tie anyhow, and also they tie it mainly like the Yoruba people's style. Then coming down, we have the necklace, which is the bead that I mentioned. This is also the same bead that the men wear. The women also wear them, the coral beads, which can be white or red. Nowadays, you can find them in different colors to match the color of the material or the outfit the woman is wearing. These coral beads are also worn as hand bracelets as well. And you also use it to know the women who are wives of titled men in the society. When it comes to blouse, the women also wear some kind of material called Hollandis or George for their blouse and the wrapper. This basically shows that they're affluent people or they are royalty or wives of titled men in the society. So that's how you can tell the women apart from just ordinary women without title. So this blouse can be sewn in any design basically, as long as it's decent and is covering the private parts. The Igbo women can literally sew it anyhow that they want, and it can be maybe with puffy shoulders and puffy sleeves, or just normal. I'll try to put some photos as usual to illustrate what I'm saying. Coming down, we have our wrapper. Now, married women tie two wrappers. One wrapper will be really long, and then the second one on top will be shorter. This is how you know married women in the society back in the days, and sometimes even now you can know this as well, apart from the rings as well. Now these materials can be, like I mentioned earlier, Hollandis, George, and any other expensive material out there. This is just for you to understand that they are rich, okay, and it will set them apart. Then those who cannot afford it use other materials that they can afford, like wax, Akwa, I think Akwa is expensive or was expensive back in the days. They can also use Ankara and so on and so forth. There are many materials out there, I don't know all their names. Nowadays it's a bit different because women don't always tie wrappers or two wrappers. They sometimes opt to have it sewn into a skirt. Now this can be a long skirt or a bit shorter, but usually it's a long skirt, which can be in a fish tail form or mermaid, which is popularly known, or it can be straight in a straight form or a line form. Now if you're into fashion or into design, you will understand what I'm trying to say here, but if you don't understand, just look at the photos and you will understand. Then to finish off the outfit, we have the shoes or slippers, normally high heel slippers, but for those who can't wear high heel, there's the flat slippers. I think in the past, most of them always wore flat slippers before we started getting high heels. So then, yeah, you can wear sandals, which I've really not seen most times, but women do wear sandals with high heels or, as again, with low heels. And most times they try to match the color of these shoes or slippers to the color of their outfit, or to the blouse, or to the bag that they are carrying. Now, I mentioned bag. Yes, definitely. I don't know about the olden days, but I know that this time, definitely, women carry big, massive handbags. Most times it's not to put stuff in, it's just to match what they're wearing. It's just as an accessory to match their outfit. Sometimes you'll see some women who hold nza. I'll try to put a photo. I don't know the English name, but most times they are titled people or like law, you know, or the wife of the king. They actually hold this. And then when you're dancing or when they see you, they can put it on your back to pat you and say, well done, my child, well done. So that will be all for the married women. I told you about the unmarried women who are the maidens in the last video that I made. If you didn't watch that video, guys, please watch it. Just click somewhere up there and you will find it. It's really informative and you'll enjoy it. Now, moving on, let's talk about the young men in the society. Now, everything I told you so far about the married men is also the same for the unmarried men. The difference is that the unmarried men are not allowed to wear the red hat, the red cap, which we talked about before. They are not. They have their own type of hat, which is made of wool, and it has horizontal strip on it, a red strip or black strip. I'll put a photo. That's what they wear. It's similar to a beanie in the Western world. So that is what they're allowed to wear. Now, this is not just for the young men. Elder men are also allowed to wear these woolen hats. So you will find a lot of them wearing it. But the young men are not allowed to wear the red cap. So you see how it is. So the older men have 2 caps basically, while the younger men have 1. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll try to give you a short summary or a recap, but I'll highly suggest watching that video that I mentioned. Now, for the men, I mentioned that they wear the cap, which I've talked about. Then they have their long shirt, which we call ishiago. It's important to note that the young men didn't really wear ishiago, but they walked around bare-chested. Now, this can be in different colors. It can be in white, red, black, or any other color that they prefer, especially these days. It changes. This shirt can be long sleeve or short sleeve. It depends on the person who's wearing it. And most times it's also meant to be on the knee or below the knee. But these days you will see people making it like the same length as a normal shirt. It's just preference. Now, to match this ishiago, the men use wrapper. Wrapper is what is used, or what used to be used in the past. Also, I think trousers, but these days men use trousers for this. So you can find people who actually want to do the proper traditional way. They will use the wrapper, and you find those who can be bothered or just don't want to, and they use their trouser. Then coming down, we have the slippers or sandals or shoes. This is also an accessory to go with ishiago. It's just preference, basically. It's a matter of preference. Back in the days, you find the slippers and sandals, but now shoes are obviously in vogue and they are available to almost anyone to purchase. Also, I mentioned the walking stick. This walking stick is usually for titled men, like I said. It's not really for the young men who are not titled or who are unwed. It's just for the elder men. But these days, you find many young people using it just to show off maybe, or to show forth the African culture in the wrong way, or maybe just because they like it and they think it looks cool and they want to look cool, you know. So they wear it, they use it, they wear it, they don't wear it. So they use it as an accessory. Last but not least, I also talked about the beads, the coral beads they wear around the wrist, around their neck as well. This is believed to have some powers which ward away evil spirits. It's basically considered to be a lucky charm which will keep people safe. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's still believed to do this nowadays, but it's popular to see couples who are getting married have this around their necks and wrists because they believe that it will keep them safe during their wedding day, where people might be jealous of them and want to harm them. So this can be white, it can be red. Like I mentioned before, white is a sign of purity. So that will be all for today, guys. Remember, if you want me to speak about any topic, leave it in the comment section and I will see it. I will reply you and I will make the video. Remember to like, share and watch the playlist on the Igbo culture. If you want to learn the Igbo language, also watch that playlist and help yourself. Alright, see you next time. Bye.